Welcome back, everyone, to Crusader Kings 3 as we continue on creating the Stellwagen dynasty in hopes of recreating the German Empire much sooner than it happened historically. If you have not seen the previous episodes, there's a link in the description that will take you back to episode 1 so you can get caught up on the story. I am in the second generation. Duke Christoph started things off, and I am now Duke Matthias. And you can see the family here, the House of Stellwagen as it exists. The only descendants right now of Duke Christoph who are not a part of the house are Countess Bertrada, who I married off to the Carling family. Everybody else, including the daughters, were married off in matrilineal marriages, which means that they remain a part of the house. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as this generation starts to inherit titles, just how much the house may grow. We've started growing into Bohemia in this area here, so we're trying to gobble up enough territories to create a kingdom before Duke Matthias dies, and we have to pass on titles and split them between his two children. So, and I believe one of those will actually go to his brother as well. His brother, I want to say one of his brothers is currently, Count Friedrich. My brother is actually in line to inherit the Duchy of Augsburg. So we've got to be careful of all of that. One of the things we will need in order to create a new kingdom is we need to be illustrious in our level of fame. 1.76 per month to get there. I think we're going to probably need to do some things to make that go up a little faster because it's just not happening fast enough at this rate. So we'll have to probably have some events to raise that fame level up a little bit if possible. We're also going to need to hold 3 or more duchies, which of course I hold 2. So that'll be the easiest of those things. Let's take a look real quick at what we're going to need for this next duchy. To get the Duchy of Bohemia, we're going to need 5. So we need 2 more counties. So 2 more counties and a higher level of fame. As long as I live, as long as my dad did, which is another 15 years, I should be able to handle that. We'll see. All right, I have completed a fabricated claim on another county. Although I might be able to just do a holy war on some of these, I don't know, and save the money. But let's go ahead and make this happen. I think I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, we could actually do a holy war. Or we can just do our claims. It's going to cost me to do it that way. What if I did a holy war for the county? Might cost me a little more that way. It only cost me 40 piety that way. And rather than prestige, I'd rather do that. Which means I didn't really need to spend the money for the claim. Alright, let's do this. We outnumber them about 2 to 1. I feel pretty good about our chances here. Plus we've got some decent knights. One of our knights was wounded. I'm also, I've got a perk that allows more of the enemy soldiers to be killed as a result of their injuries, so he'll lose more that he won't get back than would normally be the case. Alright, we captured Chiefess Marie, which would have ended the war regardless of whether or not we completed the siege, but we completed the siege, so I'm once again higher than the number of holdings that I can actually have, so I've got to think about what to do next here. Just not quite sure the best way to go about this. I guess I could probably pass another one on to my son, or my grandson, Count Ernst, who eventually I'm expecting to become king someday. I'm not going to allow him to marry on his own. I am going to grant him another title, though. Let's give him one of these counties. Here we go. We'll disband the army. We're now 1 away from being able to create the Duchy of Bohemia. The problem is we're going to have enough money and prestige and everything to create a duchy, but then to create a kingdom after that. And that's a big ask right now. Okay, we can feudalize the county of Hradic. Let's take a look here. As a non-tribal character, tribal holdings give you neither levies nor taxes. You should reform the holding, making it a castle. All right, so how do we go about doing that is the question. It's a tribal hold right now. And that would just upgrade it to a fortified tribal hold. Okay, so it costs 500 gold in order to feudalize a tribe. It's just not something I can really afford to do or even really desire to do right now. So the reality is we're just going to have to hold it the way it is. And now what we need to do is look for one more territory to be able to create the Duchy of Bohemia. There's a lot to choose from. Looks like this is who we're going to go after right here. Oh, we don't have a Causus Belli on her. Okay. Well, I guess that means we're going to have to... Oh, because she's a countess. All right. That's actually the territory we want then, is one that we can take that way. Although there might be easier ways to do that. Here's a chiefdom right here. Is this a part? It is a part of Bohemia. Okay. This guy we can go to war with by going on a holy war. Okay, and we are going to raise our army right here. And then, of course, we're not going to have the money, I don't think, right away to be able to do this, to create the duchy and the kingdom. Hopefully we can save up after this, and this will be the last conquest we do for a while. An enemy ally has joined, and this is the risk you run with doing a holy war, is that other tribes will join. And, oh, that's a pretty big one. So we may need to be calling our own allies to this mess. Oh, I don't have any right now. Okay, all right. Well, let's get this guy defeated. We're going to have a little trouble with these other armies. I'm not entirely sure we're going to be able to win. I don't know. His army's about the size of ours, so we might be okay. Oh, he's going to go in and lay siege to one of my other territories. That's all right. Not a huge deal. We're being raided. Nah, that's fine. We got it. Okay, we can actually create the Kingdom of Bohemia and the Duchy of Bohemia. Kingdom of Bohemia we can't make until we have the Duchy. And we're also going to need 500 gold to have... Oh, we actually could just create the kingdom. Ah, boy, we just need 500 gold to do it. Nah, it's going to take a while. Got to find some ways to make some money. Well, this is some bad news right here, but I'm not entirely surprised. My spy master has come to me with grave news. It is my brother, Count Friedrich, that is plotting against my daughter, Ida. The impotent fiend. All right, so what do we do about this? Friedrich, I can't believe you're doing this. Am I in a position now to where I could actually... I could disinherit him. That would be kind of a big deal, but I might be justified in doing that under the circumstances. Boy. Because what is he the heir to right now? He is the heir to Augsburg, so he is my main heir at the moment. Yeah. I could denounce him. Give everybody imprisonment reason. Nah, we'll disinherit. Ah, jeez. Can't do that. 900 prestige. No. I need that prestige. Alright, we're going to send our bishop to start converting the faith of some of these less civilized areas. So that'll hopefully help make them a little... like us a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm looking to see what else we might manage. Manage domain, court politics, patronage... Yeah, well, managed domain is what gives us the income. How about collecting taxes? Our steward. Let's get him collecting taxes, see if that can't increase our income a little bit faster. I'm going to switch over to the stewardship focus, see if we can't quickly increase our income a little bit. I do believe I still have a couple available perks over here. All right, something just happened. I was watching, and on the map, suddenly a bunch of additional territories just jumped into my fold, and I didn't get any kind of notification as to why some of these areas, like Hohenberg, for example, have suddenly become mine. So let me see if I can figure out exactly what's going on and why they have suddenly become part. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my vote now. Now that Count Ernst, my grandson, is 13 and he holds his own territory, I can give him my vote. I want to see if I can get anybody else to switch to him, and it looks like we are able to. So he's now going to become my heir, which is what I wanted all along. The question, of course, now becomes, how do I keep from things getting split between these other guys? I don't want Augsburg to go to my brother. So we're going to have to find a way to make that happen, or we just got to stay alive long enough to hit 500 gold so I can create the kingdom title. I never did figure out how these additional places came under my fold. I don't have more vassals or holdings than I did before. Maybe somebody can explain to me what happened there. I just saw that stuff pop up and become part of my realm, but I don't know why. Someone is plotting to kill my spy master. I'm sorry. I'm not that concerned about it, but I am sorry that's happening to you. Blessed are the meek. I was shocked when I caught Adela trying to steal from the travel chest of the visiting Mayor Harold. Who's Adela? My granddaughter. Okay. Whose child is she? Oh, my spy master is actually my son-in-law, so that's a bit of an issue. That's Ida's husband, and he's actually the father of my heir, so I guess that's a bit more of a problem than I realized. Stay humble. Okay, we've hit 500. We can create the Kingdom of Bohemia. Not the kingdom title I was expecting to create, but it's a kingdom nonetheless, which means now for the very first time I get to experience a royal court, which is a part of the new downloadable content that we have. All right, so let's take a look. As king, you have new duties and responsibilities. You will now be expected to regularly hold court, solving the disputes of the realm and letting your courtiers take part in your daily routines. Count Friedrich is looking sternly at me in a direct, almost lecturing way. Interesting. Starts to unfold a beautiful banner. All right. So let's go ahead and choose a dynasty banner. Large wall ornament. What's the difference? Oh, we can go with the house banner. Prestige plus 0.15 per month. Renown. This one gives prestige, renown, building construction costs. I guess it doesn't really matter. Or I guess we just get those things, huh? Okay, I thought maybe I had to choose one or the other. Let them see their new king. So this is what our royal court looks like. Not a lot to it yet. Court grandeur. Oh man, there's a lot to this. Yeah, we're looking pretty old these days. I get that. I get it. Administrative court, our court language right now is High German, which is cool because, you know, for example, sometimes the court language is not the language of the people. For years, for centuries, the court language in England was French, even though most of the people in the country didn't necessarily speak French. So that kind of stuff happens. All right, so we got to figure a little bit more out about this court. Greetings, my benign liege. I have arrived in Augsburg to pay homage to you, glorious king, as a show of my loyalty. I hope my pledge of submission alone is evidence enough of my honor. All right, show him in at once. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of Count Bernard, who soon announced and ushered before me. He kneels in deference, offering nothing but his oath to faithfully serve as a vassal of the kingdom. At last I bid the Count arise, confirming my satisfaction in Bernard's rights to the lands he rules in my stead. You gain 3 court grandeur. He gains 75 prestige. My dynasty gains 25 renown. Excellent. Let's head back to the court for a minute. This is interesting. We got something going on here in the court. In the past few days, neighboring Mayor Luther has been visiting my court on his way to some holy site or something. He's given up some gifts and things like that. So now I have to start giving gifts in better him in spending than me. Alright, cool. We're now at Court Grandeur level 4. Okay. Not sure what that means. Oh, we've got some artifacts that we can set up here. We've got an effigy of a saint. Alright, cool. Cool. We've got some wall ornaments we can put up. Let's put up the house banner. How about back here? The dynasty banner is going to hang behind me. Alright, Court Grandeur. Last century fashion. So we can spend money to make it even more grandeur-ish. Minute lodgings. We can make better lodgings. And you can see all the benefits of these things. This is crazy, the amount of customization that's available here. How many servants you have gives you bonus to a bunch of things. The kind of food you have gives grandeur bonuses. I'm really not going to do any of that right now. Disease resistance would be nice. What kind of court? What's the difference between an administrative court and a scholarly court? Obviously, administrative is going to allow for better money right now, so we're going to keep that since that's what we already have anyway. We have the highest ranked court in the world. Well, I believe I'm the only king in the world right now, so that may have something to do with that. So it's time to go ahead and try holding court for the first time. It's going to cost 100 prestige, which we have plenty of. This will increase your court grandeur. You invite your guests and subjects to petition you for assistance. You might learn of exclusive opportunities. You might be able to influence situations in foreign realms. You might add additional court grandeur. You might gain or lose opinion, prestige, gold, and more. I may not have another chance to hold court with this current king, so let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne, while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. After several moments, all movement in the chamber has ceased. All faces turn toward mine expectantly. In front of me, I count 3 petitioners lined up in an orderly row, waiting for me to call on them. All right, gesture for the first to approach. Count Adelbert of Gruningen. What's he want? I will serve you as a faithful vassal lord of Bohemia in exchange for your protection. May our 2 great houses both prosper by the arrangement. So what does he want? He wants to become my vassal with low taxes, low levy contribution. I'll have to spend grandeur to do it that way. Let's add to our grandeur. All right, cool. My son-in-law, Onfroy, he's my spy master. The realm's finances have not been the healthiest. I'm willing to buy a minor settlement off your hands in exchange for a generous sum of gold. Would it be acceptable? It's a barony, so it's not a huge deal. I could spend some prestige to maybe get a better deal. Alright, well, I spent it, but I didn't get the better deal. That's okay. Got some gold. We needed it. Mayor Ottokar. What does he want? So this is a bit of a civic rivalry that we're trying to deal with between Mayor Ottokar and Mayor Hema. We're going to try to come down the middle on this one. We'll lose court grandeur if we do that. You waste my time with petty disputes. I'm going to gain a little bit of stress. And they'll both get mad at me, but I'm basically telling them, get over it. As the last petitioner departs, various courtiers follow them out of the room, having business to attend elsewhere. Alright, my business here is done. Anything new we can do to decorate or anything like that? Doesn't appear to be the case. Some people just kind of chilling. That's cool. My granddaughter's pretty tall for 17. We should probably marry her off, shall we? Let's see here. Oh, so Count Ernst, my grandson. His father is gone. I didn't even realize he died. Let's see here. Alliance power. Let's start thinking about alliances because we haven't done too much in the way of alliances. And now that I'm king, it might not be the worst idea to do that. Prestige gain. Lothar Carling. No. What about this guy here? So many choices. Count Louis. Wouldn't be a bad idea to marry into such a relationship. But still, you know what? I still want to go with growing the house, right? I want the house to kind of infect everything in the world. So we might do it this way. This guy actually doesn't have any. Nah, you know what? We need to do this through high-ranking people. Yeah, here's where we're going to go with it. Oh, wait. They are related, and there's a risk of their children being inbred. Oh, I know who that is. That's my cousin's child. Okay, yeah, not such a good idea. Okay, no relationship here, so that's good. This guy's got the great pox, though. Okay. My goodness, are there any good matches out there anywhere at all? Count Yaroslav Slovene, no. There's a Count Raoul of Dijon. How about this guy? Yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and create the Duchy of Bohemia now. We didn't do that before, but now I've got the money to do it. So it adds an additional title. Speaking of all of these titles, King Matthias, my daughter, Princess Ida, is the heir to the Kingdom and Duchy of Bohemia. The Duchy of Bavaria will go to my second daughter, Princess Theodorata. And then I believe the other Duchy, Augsburg, is an elective one. So we have an election for that one. And Princess Ida is my choice, my heir, but most people aren't going to vote for a woman, so most of them are supporting my brother at the moment for that title. Let's see. We can always get it back later on, I guess, if we have to. Lothar is my preference of my two brothers, though. So I think I'm going to give him my vote, and it looks like a couple people switched there, so he would gain that when it comes to that. We have one more county in which to convert the faith. Let's also look at... promoting cultural acceptance might be a good thing. Or promoting culture to change the actual culture in some of these places. Might be an even better idea. Let's do that. I'm going to change this Czech culture to Bavarian. And then we need to increase control in some of these counties where we're having some issues with that. Oh no! Did something happen to Lothar, my brother? My brother died. Oh, 54 years old. My goodness, wasn't expecting that. He bled to death. Jeez. Okay, so his daughter, Countess Katerina. That means I need to vote on a new heir, a new successor, unfortunately. And of course, everybody's going for my brother Friedrich now. I don't really have a whole lot of choice, I guess, because all of the other choices are females. And I guess I don't really have a choice in the matter. Empty council positions. Man. Well, it doesn't like me holding this many duchies, so we're going to have to give one off to somebody. I don't think I can grant a title to her. But how about to her son? Count Ernst, who's my eventual heir. We should arrange a marriage for him, too. In fact, let's do that first. Oh, I can't. I'm going to go ahead and allow him to marry. And then I'm going to grant him the... Okay, Augsburg's the one that's elective. So that would take that out of the hands of the electors if I grant it to him now. Let's do that. Alright, and then I'll transfer Friedrich to him as a vassal. Alright, cool. It obviously hurts my income, but that's not a huge deal. I took Christoph out playing with a bow, my grandson and ward, Christoph Stellwagen, and to my surprise, he ran into a wounded doe. He looks really kind of sus, doesn't he? I mean, I don't know. He just looks a little bit devilish. He later lashed out at me thinking I had staged the whole encounter, some kind of test. He's paranoid. No, I don't want him to be paranoid at all. I don't want him to be sadistic either. Oh, boy. Let's try and make him ambitious instead. I've been overwhelmed by stress, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. Mental break, dark thoughts. I'm becoming a flagellant, which occasionally this was a common thing back then, that people would like whip themselves as a sign of penitence and just a way of showing their humility before God and suffering to identify with Christ, that kind of stuff. Seems weird to us now, but at the time it made sense to a lot of people. Okay, so I'm 57 years old now, and let's take a look here. Ida is heir to Bohemia, the duchy and the kingdom, as well as a couple of counties. The Duchy of Bavaria would actually go to Theodorata, who's a rapacious villain. That's not necessarily my favorite words to put together in describing my daughter, but that's the reality of the situation. Let me take a look for a second in our realm. We still do not have the ability to raise the crown authority, so that's neither here nor there. Here's Bohemia, as you can see it, a shining beacon in the center of Europe. We'll probably leave it to the next generation to grow things further, and eventually we are going to see other kingdoms rise. It's just going to take a few generations to start seeing that happen. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Please hit that like button if you would, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.